Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. It is an incredible honor and privilege to be here, and it's been an incredible honor and privilege to serve you as a Blackbaud employee for the last 10 and a half years. And it's very exciting to see this community grow and thrive over the last decade. Um, on the next slide, we will talk a little bit. Actually, this is the right one. Sorry, Eric. We're so glad to see that you're here today. And today is all about exploring what's possible with Blackbaud's APIs and developer tools and where we're headed with our technology next. But it's not just about the tools. As always, it's about you, the people. And this community is where the magic happens. So when we come together and build, share, and innovate, we create real impact that lifts the entire social good sector, driving more impact across the community. And it is so exciting. So welcome again. And we are so excited to create with you. A reminder on the next slide, we're going to continue to build on the 6 waves of innovation that we unveiled on the main stage of our annual user conference, BBCon, late last year. These forward-facing efforts are shaping the next era of social impact software by creating connected experiences enriched with powerful AI. And this includes reimagining the future of fundraising, unlocking deeper insights, and supercharging social impact organizations to go further, faster, as you work together with your missions. So while we typically think of waves as sequential, I do want to clarify that we're progressing across all 6 waves concurrently, and will continue to progress as we honor our commitment to an accelerated pace of innovation. And so to that note, I do want to put in a brief promotion on the next slide for our product update briefings, also known as pubs. Just a few weeks ago, we held our product update briefings and delivered updates about new features and release dates for every product. And so far, we're seeing record attendance. So thanks to many of you who have attended. But if you haven't seen them yet, I would encourage you to do so. Across our products, we're adding new capabilities and features and making AI more accessible and useful. And we're creating consistent design patterns to speed development, not just ours, but yours as a community as well. Also, on the next slide, we're building these connected systems to operate faster and more efficiently. And each of these new capabilities are really hitting on the 6 waves of innovation. So again, on the next slide, if you've missed out, you can watch the recordings of all 17 pubs by going to blackbaud.com/product-update. And you'll be amazed to learn about the many areas of innovations that we're announcing. And if you look closely, you can see these innovations aren't done in isolation. They are part of a connected ecosystem. And our vision is to drive this connected set of experiences that align your teams across business offices. And to get there, we're building a fully integrated and open ecosystem. On the next slide, I do want to share with you a more comprehensive view of our technology strategy, including improvements on how we work in the context of our solutions ecosystem. So internally, we'll call it sort of the over cloud and the under cloud. So the product offerings, if you will, and then our own value streams of how we work and operate as a company. And really want to emphasize that for us, these connected systems extend well beyond our products to our developer and partner enablement and into the systems that enable our back office processes that we call value streams. And we're working to make it easier to work with us and for us. So in turn, our value stream approach is also helping us think about how the processes that you enable are or need to be connected as well. And then we'll talk a little bit about the fact that things like Razor's Edge NXT and PI are becoming more tightly integrated. Certainly, Razor's Edge NXT and Financial Edge NXT are becoming more integrated. And across our products, increasing the level of encryption, including full database encryption across many of our products. But as we think about the back office systems, we're also working to integrate those processes as well across our products. And those include things like donation to disbursement or improving your access to information via common data capabilities, including accessing expertise and insights from your data via Blackbaud Copilot. accelerating payments with Blackbaud's integrated payments, and connected employee giving to nonprofits to reduce disbursement time to months versus down to days and hours in many cases. So a huge opportunity there for the community as we connect corporations and employee giving to the nonprofit community in a more timely manner. And then finally, on the next slide, I wanted to talk a little bit about our concept around essential software for the nonprofit community and how that's going to also honor our commitment to our accelerated pace of innovation across our solutions. It starts with, as I mentioned earlier, connecting you, but it's also about connecting you and your teams across your organizations. And then not stopping there, we want to create the operating system for social impact. So not just connected systems, but really enable how you do work every day, whether you're a customer or a partner or an individual activist in the community driving change. We want to support you in more ways that are possible. And that operating system will drive results in core business functions such as fundraising, financial management, grant making, and education management. And it's built on our foundation of intelligence and expertise, integrating AI and analytics that support smarter decision making, but also enables connected systems that unify workflows across departments and organizations and fostering collaboration and operational efficiency. It also supports engagement and intelligence and productivity through purpose-built systems of record and systems of engagement. And I'm also extremely excited to share with you today that we've launched work internally on new agentic AI capabilities that are going to enable things like virtual fundraisers and other roles to help you cultivate even more of your base donors, volunteers, change agents, and furthering all of your missions, regardless of your role in this community. And so with that, I have the honor and pleasure to introduce you, I believe, to Mr. Andy Snyder, who will talk a little bit more about this.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. So I am Andy Snyder. I head up the Platform Analytics and Design Group at Blackbaud. Today, I'm going to talk to you about two things. First, I'm excited to share about how Sky UX is evolving, not just as a design system, but as a strategic enabler for inclusive, scalable, and brand flexible digital experiences. First, quick reminder, Sky UX is our design system. It's open source and contains both reusable design patterns and components to create impactful and cohesive experiences across web applications. These are our durable, long-term pillars for Sky UX. And while all of them are important, I'm just going to focus today on consistency, ease of use, and accessibility. So let's start with accessibility. We've always believed that great design is inclusive design, but we've taken that commitment even further. We're continually working to ensure that we're supporting the creation of experiences that can meet the latest accessibility guidelines. This includes improvements to support WCAG 2.2 AA. This is incredibly important as requirements in different countries move at different paces, and incorporating accessibility into your development prepares you for all futures. Next, efficiency. Last year, we talked about easy mode for a few of our components. We've continued that work to bring simpler implementations to all our components. This will make it faster to create experiences and simpler to adhere to best practices and handle upgrades. All of our work around improving the efficiency of using Sky UX means you can write 50% less code and still create better and more compliant experiences. And finally, consistency. It's not just about having everything feel familiar across all of our products and solutions, while that is important. It's about what that developer consistency can enable. We are ambitiously driving towards multi-brand and multi-theme support. Let me show you what that might look like. These are two of many potential futures that this consistency supports. For example, a dark mode, which can reduce eye strain with increased contrast, and compact mode, with less padding and more density for tasks where you want more information visible, like grids. These are just the beginning of some of the types of flexibility that our vision is going to support. If you're interested in hearing more, there's a Sky UX session later today, and there is quite a bit more to learn. And then second, I want to talk to you today about AI innovation. Now, while we've been doing AI for decades, I think everyone has seen the pace increase the last couple of years. We've released some intelligent features to help teachers generate questions, help fundraisers improve their prospecting, helping corporate impact customers understand their impact through Copilot, to name just a few. Generative AI has helped improve efficiency, and we have been guided by our Intelligence for Good strategy, ensuring everything we do is convenient, powerful, and responsible. So what's next? We intend to harness the potential of agentic AI, bringing new levels of personalization and flexibility to fundraising at scale. Whether it's donor cultivation, stewardship, managing recurring giving, our goal is to make these critical operations smarter, more effective, and more human with the help of AI. Imagine having a stewardship assistant that could help you create personalized stewardship workflows, or draft content for you, or make updates to action records, or produce personalized impact statements for past giving. Or imagine a recurring giving assistant that could create personalized upgrade content and asks and send them to donors, monitoring responses and creating segments for you based on them. These experiences will be powered by intelligence that only Blackbaud can provide with our breadth of customers, deep industry experience, and research from places like the Blackbaud Institute, all while keeping you in control and allowing you to tweak where needed. That's what's next, and we're excited to keep telling you more in the coming months. Now, I would like to introduce our Chief Data and AI Officer, Carrie Cobb, who also happens to be a recent award winner as one of the 100 most influential people in data. But more than that, she is also a champion of ethical AI. Carrie.
Thank you, Andy. It's a really exciting time, as you talked about, Andy, and I'm so appreciative for the expertise, the experience, and the partnership along the way. There is no better partner here at Blackbaud, my friend, so thank you. AI is exciting, as Andy just talked about, and technological breakthroughs like generative AI have the potential to transform the way that we work. But navigating these tech frontiers is a serious responsibility, and we're committed to harnessing the potential of AI innovations in a way that is responsible and that ensures that the social impact community benefits from convenient and powerful AI-driven capabilities. So what does that mean for us? It means that we're committed to being convenient, opening doors to AI adoption through building complete ready-made AI solutions, accelerating the availability of AI-driven partner solutions in the Blackbaud marketplace, and providing education and training to equip the social impact community with the skills needed to successfully adopt AI tools. It means powerful. So we're committed to delivering powerful AI solutions that build on the right data and real expertise. Our strategy draws on the world's most robust philanthropic database, powerful systems of intelligence, deep sector expertise, and actionable insights. And finally, responsible. We believe in responsible AI. That means prioritizing a trustworthy approach to AI grounded in fairness, inclusiveness, reliability, and trust, the foundational principles of Blackbaud's trustworthy AI framework. Because at the end of the day, Blackbaud's AI strategy is about accomplishing one thing: moving your mission forward through the combination of robust data, leading-edge AI tools, and the expertise that understands your business challenges and the sensitivity of your relationship with your donors. Now, we're building on a track record of Yes, right? In 2001, Blackbaud launched its first data intelligence capabilities and has aggressively adopted AI and data technologies to solve key challenges, like helping organizations benchmark performance against peers, finding public donation history to add to supporter records in Blackbaud Giving Search, identifying best prospects to target for annual and major giving, like Prospect Insights. And as Andy described, Blackbaud Copilot and upcoming agentic AI solutions. Now, I hope you all had the chance to see and perhaps even listen to Lori Poor and Sam Venable talk about the status of fundraising report, a comprehensive report providing valuable insights on performance, tech adoption, and AI use from hundreds of nonprofit professionals. I hope this report serves as a catalyst for meaningful discussions this week as you're all here together, and even strategic planning within your organizations. One that stood out to me was that over 80% of respondents are using AI, primarily focused on generative AI. So that means that many of you here today are the change agents, empowering your organizations to unlock new ways of working, driving efficiency, creativity, and collaboration. Now, despite that, the report also suggests that only 14% of organizations have an AI policy in place. So I encourage you all to attend Shelby Talon's upcoming talk. It actually follows this session, who will talk about creating our action plan for building an AI policy at your own organization. And I said earlier that AI is only as good as the data that is input into it. And the report suggests that there's strong connection between data health and digital maturity. Organizations with really solid data tend to rate their digital maturity higher. Not surprising, right? If we want to make smarter data-driven decisions, the quality of that data has to be top-notch. So what does this mean for the developer community today? It means this moment requires an action plan that moves from commitments and frameworks to action on the ground. It means leaning into our trustworthy AI building blocks that have served us all so well during this AI journey we've been on for ages. Governance, policies, empowerment, and process. And it means connection. Connect to topics, to speakers, and to peers this week. There is no better community to work with. And speaking of connection, our next section opens the discussion to connected systems. Our Sky developer update with Ben Wong, Senior Principal Technical Product Manager. And I have had the honor of working with Ben throughout my career here, and I'm just so thankful for the time and the attention that he so selflessly gives to fellow employees like me, to our customers, and the communities they serve. So Ben, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you so much, Carrie. And hello, everyone. So great to be here again at another BB Dev Days. I know we're just on day 2, but there's already been so much inspiring content from yesterday. So my name is Ben Wong. I'm the product manager for the Sky Developer Platform, and today I'm just going to give some recent updates and give you a sneak peek into a few things that we have planned for the rest of the year. But before I do that, I stole a slide from Jerry that he shared yesterday morning in the keynote, because I think this is a really good illustration of some of the things that I'm going to talk about today. So all of you are here because you're interested in making your Blackbaud software do more for your organization and your mission. And all of you can do that simply by just going to the Blackbaud marketplace and finding a partner application off the shelf to integrate a new capability. Now, some of you will use the Microsoft Power Platform and use our certified connectors to create your own workflow automations. And then I know that there are some of you who are going to be spinning up VS Code, writing your own OAuth flow, and calling Sky API from scratch. So as a product manager for Sky Developer, it's really an honor that I get to have my hand in all of these options by providing the platform for third-party developer experiences. But as Roz said in yesterday's keynote, it really does take a village where there are so many people inside and outside of Blackbaud, many of whom you'll have the opportunity to meet at BB Dev Days. It takes all of these people to make this community what it is. So just wanted to say thank you for being here. Now, before we dive into the updates, I wanted to share this number with you. So did you know that we receive about 700 million Sky API requests each month? And that's about a 20% increase from last year. Now, I'm not sharing this number just because it's a big number, but I'm sharing it because it shows that Sky API has reached a level where a significant portion of how our customers are interacting with Blackbaud products and how they're receiving value from their products is coming from Sky API through apps, integrations, and automated workflows. And we just heard from Andy and Carrie talk about AI and how agentic AI is going to completely change the way that we work. But one thing's for certain, that AI, if it continues at the pace that we've seen, it's going to get more intelligent and have access to more tools to actually accomplish tasks. And Sky API provides that foundation for agents to accomplish those tasks in Blackbaud software. So when we started working on Sky API 10 years ago, we had no idea that the journey would take us this far. And it really feels like we're on the cusp of what feels like a real inflection point in our history. All right, so with that, let's dive into some updates. So the first thing, back in February, we announced the introduction of the free developer tier to Sky API subscriptions. Now, we've always believed that it's important to offer all developers, regardless of whether they're a customer or a partner or someone who's neither and unknown to us, but is passionate about innovating with Blackbaud software. So we introduced the free developer tier that can be obtained by anyone so that developers can learn Sky API and get access to a free test environment to test some API requests. But the free developer tier is not designed to scale because when an unknown developer reaches a certain point, we want them to be known and join us as an official Blackbaud partner where we can ensure that there are certain standards that are met before they start engaging with customers. So these are the new limits that we introduced for each type of developer. The green indicates the new limits that were introduced because we haven't actually introduced limits to Sky API or made any changes since 2016 when Sky API was initially released. So on the free tier, developers have a daily API quota of 1,000 requests per day. If they aren't a customer or partner, they don't have an option to pay for an increase to those API limits. There's also new limits that were introduced for the number of apps each developer account can create and the number of connections those apps can have. And you can see that we introduced the app creation and app connection limits to customers too, but for the vast majority of use cases, customers don't need more than 10 apps, and they almost always just connect to one environment, which is their own environment. So for the vast majority of you in the audience, these are the two new limits that you'll see. And for the partners out there, you'll be happy to know that there's been no change. And of course, all of this is documented on our website. If you visit developer.blackbaud.com, you'll see all of this in our documentation. Okay, so next, let's talk about some Sky API updates across our various products. Now, we release a lot of updates continuously throughout the year across all products. So the best way to keep in touch is to subscribe to the Sky Developer Announcements blog, which you can do by snapping that QR code. So I'm not going to cover everything, but here are just some notable updates. Some recently released in preview. So if you see that preview label, that means that it's out there, it's available for you to use, but it's still early days and things may change as we receive feedback. And then some things I've labeled as coming soon. So you'll have something to look forward to and get excited about. So starting with RENXT, now I love seeing Sky APIs get released at the same time that new features get released in the product, and that's what we've been seeing a lot of in RENXT. So the release of the new consent management feature, that coincided with the release of the consent API, which is now in preview, and that allows you to create, read, update, and delete, so aka CRUD access to consent records, and you can do that for one or more constituents at a time. There's a new API for gift aid, so that my friends in the UK will be pleased to see that, as charities have to apply for gift aid to qualify for some tax advantages. So the new gift aid API provides full CRUD access to tax declarations, and that wasn't previously available on Sky API. There's the standard reports that was released earlier this year that provides access to database view reports in WebView. So there's a standard reports API in preview that lets you get the details of the reports that are available. And then lastly, for RENXT, we have some enhancements coming to constituent ratings thanks to the power of Prospect Insights Pro scores, which use much more advanced statistical techniques and AI to create the prospect scores. So the existing ratings API endpoints in RENXT will soon have new improved custom scores that will help your apps do more advanced segmentation. So moving across to FENXT. So earlier this year, there were some new API endpoints that were released, and these were designed to improve performance and reliability when processing large batches in journal entry and payable invoices. The endpoints let you check on the status of the job process, giving you the ability to provide more visibility into the process status with your integrations. Now, Brenda Noiseau did a session yesterday about the upcoming Receivables API, which will be released very shortly, following some of the new accounts receivable features that have been coming out in FENXT. If you missed that, check out the recording and look out for the Receivables API coming soon. Now, moving down to the integrated payments world. So the payments team will be launching a new modernized checkout experience this year. It's going to bring more payment methods and flexible form factors that allow your apps to consolidate payment processing through Blackbaud integrated payments. So this is the same optimized checkout used in Blackbaud's online giving forms that will now be available to your Sky applications to help you increase your conversion rates and raise more. And you can learn more about this in the session with Mina Mistry and Mitchell Thomas in their session all about upgrading your payments checkout experience. And that's tomorrow, where you can get a much deeper dive, and then you can even get some early access to the new checkout experience. And next, we have a few things to highlight for the education management APIs. So we have a billing management API in preview, and this is going to be huge since it's going to enable point of sale partners. So if you think cafeteria purchases or school store purchases, they can now have their charges go through billing management via the API, and that reduces a lot of manual effort that goes into giving parents one bill from the school with all of their charges. There's also an education core API in preview, and that provides access to core school settings. So there's a couple of endpoints you can try out now for getting file attachment provisions and searching for users, but there's going to be a lot more functionality coming later this year. And lastly, on this slide, I'm really excited to see webhooks coming to education management. Someone was just asking about this in a session yesterday, but this news is hot off the press. So very soon there will be a webhook event that your app can subscribe to for receiving profile changes. And then following that, there's going to be webhook events for enrollment changes and checklist changes later this year. Okay, next, let's talk about some updates to the Power Platform, which has become probably the most popular way that our customers are interacting with Sky API. It's certainly the easiest way, as you may have seen in some of the sessions on the Power Platform yesterday. So as a reminder, we have lots of certified connectors available Each one is expertly crafted to bring Sky API functionality from each specific product domain area into the Power Platform so that you can start creating your workflows. Now, these connectors are particularly useful when you're trying to use an API that has a lot of complex objects or parameters. So, for example, last year, there was a ton of excitement for the release of the Query API for RENXT and FENXT. So this API is incredibly powerful, lets you access your data in a much more efficient way. So to help more users take advantage of this API, we released the Power Automate connector for RENXT and FENXT. So I wanted to share some stats on that connector. Now, just in the past month, we had over 420,000 successful API requests made to the Query API from this connector. The overall Query API gets about 2 million requests a month. So it's about 20% of those that come directly from the Power Platform connector. And those API requests are going to 210 different customer environments. So by providing a low-code interface for this API, it has a significant impact on the number of customers who can benefit from the API and put it to use. So here are some of the latest updates on the Power Platform. So for the Autru and BBCRM developers out there, you can now officially join the low-code party. We have the CRM constituent connector available now in the connector library. And we have the CRM prospect and Autru constituent connectors coming really soon. They're actually in the Microsoft deployment pipeline right now. And you can check out the recording of the session called Empowering Your Blackbaud CRM with Low-Code Solutions. That was yesterday by Becky Kimball and Scott Parrish, if you want more information on those connectors. We also released a dedicated connector for the RENXT standard reports. And also, we updated the RENXT GIFT connector to include some of the new GIFT v2 API functionality. Now, those of you who know about the Sky add-ins connector, I know you know about the special send HTTP request action. And that's the action that lets you call any Sky API endpoint. So we just made an update where you can now make patch requests, which I know some of you have been waiting for literally years for that update to happen. So it's out there now. And then it occurred to me in a session yesterday that there's still a lot of you who are just curious about the Microsoft Power Platform, but didn't know how to get started. So if that's you, just take out your phone now, and if you snap that QR code, it's going to take you to our Microsoft integrations website. That's going to help you get started on your low-code journey. Okay, next. So this is an exciting announcement because we get to welcome another Blackbaud product to the Sky API family. So this time, this is from the corporate impact world. Your Cause Grants Connect is the purpose-built grants management solution that makes it easy for companies to manage grant applications and awards. So the Grants Connect team, they're working on their first ever Sky API that's going to bring the world of modern extensibility to their product, which opens the door for integrations for the company's HR and financial systems. So the first focus is going to be providing access to payment data for accounts payable integrations, but it's going to be followed up with more endpoints to access applications, tags, awards, applicant details, and form data. And because the APIs are on the Sky developer platform, it's going to be the same developer experience that we've been refining on Sky API for years now. And next, we have another really exciting announcement that Sky add-ins are coming to education management. Now, I've been personally waiting for this for a really long time because I know that there's a lot of partners who have been asking for this. So the user profiles will have a new extension point for creating tabs on the profile so that developers can put more information on the specific user's profile in the context of their specific grade. And then later this year, there's going to be a new communication page tab extension point that will enable developers to show their communication logs for certain parents or students so that the staff at the school can see all the communication that has been sent to the students all in one place. And the Sky add-ins framework also provides user identity tokens to the app with the add-in, which enables the app to provide a much more user context in that experience if they're using single sign-on. And we also have a Sky add-ins update to the online giving optimized forms. So for a while now, we've had Sky add-ins for the custom donation forms that developers can use to collect information or offer additional functionality after the donation has been made. If you were at BB Dev Days a couple of years ago, we had Double the Donation share their work to offer matching gift functionality using the donation form add-in. So that lets donors search for matching gift programs offered by their company. So now the same can be done with optimized forms with these add-ins that are coming soon. And if there's any identity management nerds out there, this one's for you. So Sky API will be supporting OpenID Connect ID tokens as part of the standard OAuth 2.0 flow. So this means that in addition to receiving an access token, your app will receive an ID token that will contain the authenticated user's Blackbaud ID information, such as the first name, last name, and email address. This can also be obtained through a user resource authorization flow that will enable you to create a sign-in with Blackbaud ID experience or an option for your users by storing that OpenID Connect ID token. So you can use Blackbaud ID as the main identity provider. So this is big news for developers who don't want to create their own identity management, or if you want to just give your users more options to authenticate into your app. And I wanted to end with this. So last year on the BBCon main stage in Seattle, we announced this truly exciting partnership with Constant Contact. Since then, a lot of work has been done to create a deep integration between their best-in-class digital marketing tools and RENXT. And what I love about this is that Constant Contact are using all the same developer tools that are available to all of you. And they're using the consent API to manage the constituent communication preferences. They're also using the full page add-in to deliver the whole Constant Contact experience right into Razor's Edge NXT. So you can do all the segmentation and campaign building without switching tabs or screens. And they're also planning to use the Sky API ID tokens to enable users to sign up and create a Constant Contact account with their Blackbaud ID. And we expect this integration to be globally available in June. So I wanted to end with that example just because I love the fact that we offer email marketing tools within RENXT that work well with many customers, but we also welcome alternatives through third-party options who provide more advanced capabilities. And we provide all the developer tools on the Sky Developer Platform, not only for Constant Contact, but for every developer, like all the ones here today, so that you can all deliver these deeply integrated experiences for our customers. I think that's the kind of walk-off Oscar music coming on. Let me hand it back to Andy to see us out.
Awesome.
Thanks
everyone.
Ben.
I always love Ben's sessions of any talk that he is doing. So thanks, Ben, very much for all those updates. So there's a lot of things that we talked about today, and I know a lot of you are eager to jump in, just get your hands dirty. And so let me cover, though, first, a couple of different items. So first, there's a new and exciting way to connect to BB Dev Days this year, Brain Dates. BB Dev Days has always been about customers connecting with customers, and Brain Dates helps facilitate conversations with your peers. So what is Brain Dates? These are one-on-one or small group conversations where you can dive into topics that matter to you, whether you're looking for advice, you want to share your expertise, or you just want to bounce ideas around with some fellow attendees. Think of it as matchmaking for meaningful conversations. So whether you are a seasoned developer or just getting started, there's a Brain Date waiting for you. You can find Brain Dates on the agenda, or you can go to bbdevdays.braindate.com to create a topic. Next, we're excited to share a meaningful way for you to give back during BB Dev Days, virtual volunteering with Godera, right from wherever you are. In honor of Pride Month, we've curated opportunities that support LGBTQ+ communities and causes, giving you a chance to make a real impact while celebrating inclusion and equity. Even in this virtual space, we can come together to create change. We've got 2 sessions this afternoon at 4:30 Eastern, and you can find all the details about how to sign up on your agenda builder. And we've made these sessions available for all pass types, so we should be able to make a huge impact today. And I hope to see you all there. Next, your feedback. Super important to us and the BB Dev Days speakers. After each session of BB Dev Days, take a quick moment to fill out the feedback form. It's quick, it's easy, and most importantly, it's incredibly valuable. Your input helps us improve the experience, spotlight what's working, and help shape future content. And here's the fun part this year. We're turning feedback into a little bit of a friendly competition. Attendees who submit the most feedback will be entered to win some awesome prizes. Plus, the 3 sessions with the highest feedback scores will earn a golden ticket, an invitation to present their session live at BBCon this October. So don't hold back. Your voice could help shape the future of BB Dev Days and send your favorite speakers to the big stage. Next up, we get to hear from Shelby Talent, who's the founder and chief ethical AI strategist at ethic.ai. As we all start embracing AI agents and leveling up our digital maturity, Shelby's going to walk us through how organizations can adopt AI in ways that are safe, secure, and truly innovative. I'm really looking forward to what she has to share, and I hope you are too. So we'll see you there momentarily. And thanks again to everyone for attending today.